Well, hello everyone. Aloha from Hawaii. I'm still here on the Big Island. It is July 3rd, so this is our last full day here on the island. And I hope you can hear me well because today is very windy. There's a strong breeze off the ocean, and it's hard to find a place where it's not so windy. Hey, the king is here joining me. So glad you're here. So guys, I'm still on the Big Island in Hawaii, and I wanted to tell you about my day yesterday. Oh, you can hear well, I'm glad, because the wind is really blowing. I'm going to be pushing the hair away from my face this whole live stream. So let me tell you, yesterday we had this amazing experience. It was amazing for the most part, but there was one incident at the end I'll have to tell you about. I asked some of you, whoever knew what a ranch was, to tell me what a ranch was, and some of you knew. So a ranch has lots of animals, usually cattle or sheep or something like that, and Hawaii has a lot of cattle ranches. So we went to a cattle ranch. We drove like an hour, maybe 45 minutes, maybe a little less, and actually less than that. It was like about an hour. But we drove through off the pavement, through windy hills, and it was definitely felt like the wild nature of Hawaii. But then we got our chance to go horseback riding, which I haven't done in a long time. So right now, hey Flavia, glad you joined me. Carlos too, great. So anyways, we went to this ranch. It's in a village called Waimea. So it's in the north, kind of in the center of the Big Island. And it was a lot of fun because often when you go on these trail rides, you get on these horses and they just plod along one behind the other. Hey, aloha, Walid, Susie. Sukaina, glad you guys can join me. So I'm telling you that usually when you go on trail rides, you often go on these horses, one behind the other. And that's not the exact experience that I wanted for me and my family. So I found this ranch where you get on these horses and they're cooperative enough where even if you're unexperienced, the horses will take you where you want to go, and we were able to generally stay together, but we moved over the hills, down these steep inclines and up again. It was really fun because you truly felt like you were riding. You weren't just on a horse that was taking you for a ride. You got to direct and steer the horse as you wished. It was really a lot of fun and exciting. It was raining and cool and windy, and fortunately because of the overcast sky, hey, more people are joining me from Brazil. Hey, aloha. So I'm still here on the Big Island, and I was telling you that on the ranch yesterday, we had this sort of free ride, a free ranch ride, free in the sense that we could go where we wanted to over these valleys. The overcast sky meant that we couldn't see Mauna Kea, this mountain, but it was still really a beautiful experience. Now, the unfortunate thing is that on the ranch, the grass grows wild. Hey, hi from Algeria. So guess what happens if you lose something in the tall grass? What are the chances of finding it? So now think for a moment, what would be the worst thing to lose when you're on your trip? What are the top 3 things that you would hate to lose while you're traveling? I think we all know. Think about it for a moment. What would you absolutely hate to lose? Well, passport, money, phone. These are like things that we feel like, oh my gosh, can I live my life without them, right? So like I said, this was a ranch where we did not just plod along walking our horses. Hey guys, oh yes, phone, right? So they said, guys, if you want to go fast, you can go fast. Just, go explore where you want to go. So I'm like, all right. So I kicked my horse. My horse was called Beach Bum. So there I am trotting along, feeling like, woo, I'm on a horse. I'm going over valleys, down hills. And then I reached down to take a picture, and my pocket was empty, and just that horrible feeling hit my stomach of, oh my God, I lost my phone somewhere as I was trotting over this valley. And so I stopped the guide and I said, I lost my phone. And then I tried to do the find my iPhone, and basically what happened is we weren't allowed to dismount, which means get off the horse. We couldn't dismount. We had to finish the ride, and then they sent 2 workers back to look for the phone. But here's a good word. Out of every experience, there's a learning. there's a learning opportunity. So I'll tell you a few things related to this incident. I lost my phone because the internet connection there is not just the internet, the signal is spotty. S-P-O-T-T-Y, spotty. If the signal is spotty, it means sometimes you have a signal, sometimes you don't. We're on this wide open ranch of valleys, and what happened is that sometimes the signal was working and sometimes it was so weak my phone went offline. So even with Find My iPhone, there was very little hope of finding my phone. So we sat there for a while, the workers looked, and they just said that the tall grass eats everything. And so my iPhone has been eaten by the tall grass on the ranch. I am now live streaming with my husband's phone. He said I could use it. I said, how am I gonna live stream? How am I gonna do anything? So I'm borrowing my husband's his iPhone to do this live stream right now on the Big Island of Hawaii, and I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that maybe, just maybe, somebody on the ranch today will find my phone, and maybe they'll call my husband and say, yes, we found your wife's iPhone. But still, we had this amazing horseback riding experience on an open ranch, and my children got to go on horseback, not just some pony ride in a circle. They got to steer their own horses up hills, down hills, through valleys. My daughter was a natural. She was trotting along, doing very well, guiding her horse. It was wonderful to see. But unfortunately, I lost my iPhone somewhere. So I'll tell you two things. One, another wonderful expression related to this. And two, here's a request. If anybody out there is like an IT expert or an iPhone expert and you guys have your suggestions, what would you do if you lost your iPhone? Now I have Find My iPhone enabled, it's activated, but as I said, on the ranch, the signal is spotty. I bet my phone has very little battery power left. Most of the time, I think the phone is gonna be offline. I don't know how to find the iPhone. I was thinking maybe somebody in the FBI or the CIA has the technology. Maybe NASA has the technology, but of course no one in NASA or these big agencies is gonna help me find my iPhone. So I think I just have to take a deep breath and move on and realize that my iPhone is gone. And at least my family still has their phones, and I can access the internet through their phones. But it's just so sad and so unfortunate because I lost some photos. So I'm so sad. I don't know who out there has any idea of how to find an iPhone that's off signal, but if you have a suggestion, I'd love to hear it. It is password protected, so if someone finds it, they can't open it. I don't think so. But I'm just so sad that my phone seems to be gone in the tall grass of a cattle ranch here on the Big Island of Hawaii. Now, here's the expression. As a mother, of course, like most mothers, I nag, N-A-G. I nag my children and tell them things they should do and shouldn't do. And a couple times, once on this trip already, both kids have lost their ID bracelets. See, when you go to a resort, they often give you a bracelet that you wear the whole time. And that shows that you are part of this resort and you can access different amenities, like the spa or the pool, things like that. So my children both lost their ID bracelets, and so we had to replace them. And I said to them, guys, you gotta take responsibility. You have to be responsible for these things, right? So isn't it funny that, we're just talking about this little itty bitty bracelet that is really not that big of a deal. And what did I do yesterday? I'm riding on my horse, going up and down, and slipping out of my pocket was my iPhone. So I lost my iPhone, which is a much bigger deal than losing a bracelet. So it's me nagging my children is like the pot calling the kettle black. Have you heard that? It's like the pot calling the kettle black, right? Because when you put things on a stove, over time, the heat burns the bottom and things get black. And both a kettle and a pot are black. So it's wrong to criticize if you are guilty of the same action. So I feel like, yes, how could I possibly nag my children for not taking responsibility if I myself lost my iPhone here on the Big Island of Hawaii? So, oh goodness, I'll just have to, like I say, take a deep breath and move on. I'm still trying to roll with those punches. But as I said, you know, vacations can be wonderful, but things happen, unexpected things happen, sometimes unexpected, and you just got to roll with the punches. It's going to get a little noisy. The tram is coming by. You're going to see the tram in the background. Actually, let me give you a view. Let me see what I can do for you guys. Oh, there's the tram. That's how people get around here in the resort. And look how beautiful this courtyard is, right? We have a Buddha there. Do you see, this is actually a dock where I'm standing. So on that platform, you can just stand there and wait. Between the hours of 5 and 9 in the evening, you go on this little motorboat that takes you around the resort through the canal. So it's a fun little ride. My children and I did it just for fun. Because how many times do you get on a boat to go around at night just for a half hour? So I thought that was a fun little thing that we did last night after the ranch ride. And because it's my husband's, I'm going to go a little closer and see if you can see anything. Oh, guess not. But you know what? This place is, I don't know if we'll go down closer. If you look really closely, there are tiny little fish. Someone told me they're feeder fish. Why do you think there are feeder fish, small little fish? Well, that's because somewhere in these waters are predators, right? There is this huge fish, I think it's a barracuda. It is like more than a foot long, and it comes around, and of course that's what it eats, all these little fish. So there's some mid-sized fish. Oh, here comes the tram again. You get to see the tram go by. The tram is faster than the boat. Of course, weather funny thing that happened when we first arrived at this resort is we got on the wrong tram and went to the wrong area. So we were on the tram for a long time before we actually found where we were supposed to go. So I'll show that picture of the Buddha again. So any case, there's my plea. If anybody out there has any clue how to find an iPhone that is in an area with a spotty signal, where the connection is spotty, and if the phone is offline, do you think there's any hope of finding it? I don't know. We've tried to track the last location, and I think because it's offline, it's not possible. So I don't know. I'm trying to make peace with the fact that I've probably lost my iPhone for good and I will have to replace it, which is so sad because I'm not even done paying installments on my phone. So do you know what installments are? It means if you can't afford the phone outright, meaning 100%, you have to pay little by little. So very sad that my iPhone is gone, but somehow I'll survive the loss. As my husband said, there are worse things to lose, and that is very true. I didn't lose my kids. We didn't lose wallets, passports, and most importantly, we didn't lose our health. As I mentioned in my first vlog, there is concern among tourists about the air quality here in Hawaii, but I can tell you that fortunately, we have not been affected by the air quality because of the volcanic eruptions. So, knock on wood, we're doing well, and other tourists seem to be enjoying the Big Island as well. I hope the sound quality has been good on this live stream because, boy, the wind is sure picking up. And I thank all of you for joining me, and I'll try to live stream yet again. I'll check the comments just to see how you're all doing, and if anyone out there has some wonderful recommendations, maybe there is some small hope to find my poor little iPhone out on the ranch in here on the Big Island of Hawaii. But as I said, the sun is shining. I'm going to still try to keep smiling and enjoy the rest of my vacation. Thank you all for joining me, and aloha from Hawaii. Take care, everyone.